So I wanted to just, touch base on one of the comments somebody posted on the revocation YouTube video. One of you had said I should have offered the judge, the free escort for the judge that passed away. And please know I'm in no way, shape, or form talking about a judge that passed away, and in no way, shape, or form would I ever disrespect the loved ones or the families that are going to be associated with a funeral for a judge. But the funny thing is one of the things that I even responded to that comment, it is interesting that you would say that I should offer a free service so that way I can get kudo points with the judge. And the only reason why I bring that up is because it's odd that this has happened and it was talked about on my bond hearing, because I do funeral escorts. And the reason why it's odd to me, and it kind of correlates, is we have done for the state attorney's office not one, but two funerals for state prosecutors that have passed away. One was a long time ago, but one was as recently as when I started using the attorney we use now. In fact, shortly after we did the funeral, a few days later, somebody contacted me and was like, "Hey, was you the company that did the escort for so-and-so, so-and-so?" And I said, yes, we were. And he was like, "That's interesting." And it's funny, we talked about it since then, and I brought that up to his attention. I was like, "Isn't it comical how we've done a funeral escort the exact same way we have always done it, with the exact same air horns, with the exact same lights, with the exact same equipment, with the exact same units. And we've actually done two funerals for the said state prosecutor's office, the same prosecutor's office that is currently trying to have me charged with, well, not have me charged, is charging me with impersonating a police officer." So when we did those two funerals, one back in, I think it was 2015, and then one in 2018, when we were doing that funeral, or those funerals, how come then our lights and our uniforms and us holding traffic wasn't considered impersonation? If you go on YouTube and look, there's other videos of us actually in the procession with the police on fallen officers' funerals. I would never want to disgrace the fallen officers that have put their lives on the line and lost their lives. We were invited to those funerals in our Class A's with our lights and our equipment the exact same way. So how come today, because Sergeant Vittler, who has no money and has no job when he retires, who went and got a job from Curtis to do funeral escorts when he does retire, and or start his own funeral escort business that he sent Alec in to try to finagle 50%. But at the end of the day, we weren't even considered impersonating until Sergeant Vittler decided he wanted to start his own funeral escort business. We did two state prosecutors out of the same office, their funerals with their families, and please, for those that are paying attention, it wasn't just their family members in the cars. There was a great deal of judges and other prosecutors on the funeral escort. In fact, the last funeral escort we did for that state prosecutor, I know for a fact that there was over 8 judges in the funeral procession. So the judges that were in that procession, the state prosecutors that were in that position, the law enforcement officers that were in that possession, how come today we're impersonating, but then we weren't? So my question to you is yes, Vittler is trying to start his own funeral escort business. So Does that mean when we're doing it for law enforcement or we're doing it for prosecutors, it's legal? But when we're doing it for African American families or Latino families or Arab families, it's illegal? I'm very confused. I don't understand that. I don't understand why it's legal here, but when you cross to the other side and they're not wearing uniforms or badges, it's illegal. Things happen on escorts. You guys have seen maybe 10 or 15 escorts edited over and over and over and spliced together. Do the math. We've done the math. We do somewhere close to 2,000 funerals a year. 2,000 funerals a year times 11 years. How come the only deputies that are saying that I'm impersonating a police officer is Sergeant Vittler and Corporal Ramsey? Again, we go as far north as Ocala and as far south as Port St. Lucie, from coast to coast, Tampa, Cocoa, Brevard, everything in between. And no other agency has ever said we're impersonating, has ever pulled us over, has ever questioned us. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, I wanted to bring that up because somebody made that comment. And just so you know, had the family reached out to us, we would have provided that funeral escort for free, no matter what. Law enforcement, judges, firefighters, military, 99.9% of the time we do those for free. We always have. I've always stood by that with my company. You know, and one of the other things, recently we just did a funeral escort for the first African American police officer for a small city here in Orange County. They're not a small city actually anymore. They've actually grown quite a bit. But that agency had their first African American police officer pass away. We provided the funeral escort for it. You know, I understand he passed away of natural causes and it wasn't in the line of duty and things of that nature, and he retired some time ago. But his own agency, the same department that he wore the same metal badge for, the same department that he swore an oath to protect and defend, they showed up, but they didn't escort him. They didn't provide a service through their own jurisdiction to their own cemetery. They didn't hold the lights with us. They didn't even activate their lights or be a part of the procession. We provided the escort. And we've done that many times where officers have passed away of natural causes, and because they're no longer part of that agency and or their agencies have strict policies against funeral escorts, they don't even provide them. We've done Royal Canadian Mountie police officers' funerals that lived here in Florida. We've done funeral escorts for firefighters. And, you know, it's comical that today it's illegal for us doing funeral escorts. But yesterday, for their funerals, it was okay. And what's even funnier is there's a video that maybe sooner or later will get leaked out there of us doing a funeral escort with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And it wasn't before Vittler, it was after Vittler. So BV and AV. AV, after all of Vittler's fucking lies and bullshits and fake reports, especially like the Winter Park report, where their own officers and agencies said he's a fucking liar, and that was AV, not BV. Anyways, I'm sure all you fucking losers will talk shit about the way I abbreviate and use the letters and all that fuck shit. For the ones that really do care and are paying attention, somebody emailed me about the life they had where they had to go through a serious serious case. And the cops, they believed, already had the answers and all the proof. And come to find out, all of it was fake and lies. And he was telling me to keep my head up. And for that person that knows who they are, I appreciate your email. With that said, please don't misunderstand whatever I say. Never, ever misunderstand what I'm saying. Law enforcement, firefighters, our public servants are extremely important people. Our company supports and then also agrees and works with other local agencies. Orange County as well. In fact, again, you'll see in that video where we actually do a funeral escort and the Orange County Sheriff's Office is in the funeral with us. Not one, not two, but 8 deep, plus multiple unmarks. For those that are good, you'll be able to point them out. Anyways, those that are paying attention, those that are kind of listening and looking, you'll see that doesn't make sense. Stop and ask yourself, how is it okay for 11 years? And how is it okay for all these other agencies, but only 2 deputies who, remind you, are now in timeout on a special detail across the county in a location that we don't do funerals at all nearby because there's no cemeteries anywhere near it. How convenient is that, where they've been kind of put in timeout? Anyways, long story short, be safe. Hope you guys are paying attention. Motor One's rolling.